Hi, I'm Deb Butko, and I am a math resource teacher in Oklahoma. And I work with freshman and sophomore students that are in learning cohorts. And so they basically get to be in the same class with the same students over their freshman and sophomore year. And we work as a team in our direct instruction group to really best support those students so they're prepared for their junior and senior year to make it to graduation. So in 2020, the state of Oklahoma purchased ExactPath as a progress monitoring and diagnostic tool for public educators. And so as a math teacher, I was very interested in being able to find out exactly what the strengths and weaknesses are of my students. And some were at home and some would be back in the classroom. And it was really this blended environment. So we were able to use our computer to log into the program to really be able to see what was happening, to see those strengths and weaknesses and be able to modify our instruction to really meet the needs of our students. So the next year, ExactPath was not just free for all of us, but I really enjoyed using the program and I felt it was super exciting for the students to be able to fill in those learning gaps. And so I asked our administrators and they agreed that the data that we had from the previous year really showed success. So I was able to then go through the motions of getting that accepted at our high school. And now it is available for all of my students that are in our direct instruction courses, and they can use it in math and in English and language arts. Using the program for the first year and really being able to see how successful it was, I was personally attached to it, but my students, they still saw it as math, as work, as something they didn't really always want to do. So my goal was to have my students work at least 30 minutes a week on ExactPath. And that was just in math. And so our English teacher, she was also expecting them to work 30 minutes for her in her class. And we were talking about how we could really motivate our students. And some are really motivated by grades. And so we always are going to have that one group of students that just want to be successful and are doing the most they can just because they have a desire to learn. But we have other students that might need a little extra incentive. So I reached out in the community because we have so many people who are in our backyard who really want to do things for our school. And I just started contacting people, and Sonic was the first to come on board with us. And they gave us a lot of gift cards and things, certificates for free items. That was a huge incentive for the students. So I just kind of kept reaching out. Chick-fil-A has been an amazing supporter of what we're trying to do with ExactPath. They have provided every semester about 100 gift cards. So it's like, all of these things are coming together and are really benefiting the students. And I can go up and just randomly give a card to a student who has just exceeded their time on ExactPath. But I can also look and see if there's a challenge that I can put in. So maybe I want them to do something really specific. I can go right into ExactPath, put in a challenge, and then they can earn a badge. And when they have earned that badge, they can bring it up and show me, and I can give them that, whatever their incentive that they choose. I mean, I talk about how food is a great incentive, but there's other things too. The local bowling alley gave us passes. There was also the movie theater in town. So it's like, there's lots of different businesses that are super supportive, who want to be involved, and really all you have to do is ask. If you're passionate about something, then you can always sell it to someone else. And I think that's what it is I am totally 100% sold on this. I can go and talk to parents or administrators or whoever it is because I love it. I love that I can have this tool that really, really benefits students and teachers and everyone as a team. And that was one of the things that I really liked about ExactPath is it's not only a diagnostic tool, but it's a progress monitoring tool. And so whenever I sit down with other teachers, like for instance, this year we've expanded our direct instruction program and we brought in 4 new teachers. And we have meetings every week and we talk about how we are really meeting the needs of students. And whenever, like for instance, a history teacher will ask, do you think this assignment will work with these students? We can go back to ExactPath and we can say, well, let's look at the reading and language arts scores. Well, let's say you've got 5 students in that class that are reading at a 3rd or 4th grade level. this might not really work for them. And so when you get to the high school, sometimes it's really hard to know where those students are. If you've got a room full of students and they're at all these different levels, and some of them, are really struggling with hyperactivity, and some of them, have a specific learning disability, and you've got all these different students, it's really great to be able to have some tool that is able to really tell you. So it's like we can have these conversations, just as a team at school. But then also we talk during our meetings with parents. We have parent-teacher meetings, and the parents are always very curious, like, how's my child doing in school? We can bring up these reports and I can show exactly this present data, how their student is doing. And it's really sometimes enlightening, because on the graph, it'll say the lowest entry level. And I say, well, maybe something happened maybe in second grade, because look, we have a little hole in our learning in second grade. And I would say about 90% of the time, the parent tells a story of something that happened in second grade. So it's like, okay, let's go fix that. Let's have the student really focus in on the second grade skills. And this is in addition to what I'm teaching in my class. And then we're able to fill in those learning gaps. So the parents are totally involved. The other teachers are excited, because so many times we feel like we're by ourselves, but here we're actually bringing them in together. We're having conversations, we're collaborating on our instruction, we're trying to do what's best for kids. And I think that what we're going to see over time, I just work with the freshmen and sophomores in this, we're just a few years into the program, but I think what we're going to see is by the time these students get to graduation and they take their ACT or their SAT, they are going to be just so much more prepared and ready for that next step, that this is going to be this big help that we just started their freshman year, but it's really going to help them throughout their whole high school experience. The biggest picture will be when the student graduates and they're able to have that higher score on the ACT or the SAT, and it gets them into their college of choice and all of that. But there's also this smaller achievement they get. So when they first log into the program and they click on math learning path, and they're able to choose an activity. So they go to their module and they see that when they logged on last time, they already earned their green box, and they're able to then go on to the next one. And it's like those little wins along the way that build confidence. And I think that especially in math, you have a possible student who really feels like math is not a strength, but if we can build confidence and they can see along the way that I can do this, that this is at my level and I am going to be successful, and then that student starts to really appreciate math and be able to understand that there is a purpose behind this, then that's just really going to help them, not only if they go to college, but whatever they choose to do in life. And so that's where it's successful. It's able to fill in those gaps, help build confidence, help us as teachers do our best to help students. That's success right there. I think Exact Path is an excellent program to really help our students. It just as a diagnostic tool, you can kind of see where the students are and where you need to just jump in and maybe give a little extra support before they're ready to do grade level material. But at the same time, the progress monitoring kind of backs up and really helps strengthen instruction. So I think that the best thing that I can encourage you to do is not to give up, is to set some goals, find some incentives, go out to the community, ask for some support. And I think you'll be surprised at how many people are ready to jump on board as part of your team. And I also think that find people at your school that really want to do data-driven design. You'd be surprised too. We just have open calls and say, hey, who wants to come be part of this meeting? And there's always a few teachers that I didn't expect who show up, who really want to learn what we're doing and wanted to be involved. And our hope then is that the more that everyone buys into this and realizes that it's super helpful, that we'll be able to offer it to even more students in the future.